Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we're going to be giving you a quick update on day 2, somewhat of a pre-day 2 recap on the KvK registration phase for the largest KvK or kingdom pool in the game right now, which is the G2 or Gen 2 pool. There is a lot of kingdoms here, and there's 2 options this time around, unlike last season where we also had Rise of the Dragon that was there as an option, and I believe it was just 2, Rise of the Dragon and something else. But effectively, now we have Calling of Courage and Winter is Upon Us, and we need to figure out which scenario should everyone, or hopefully the majority, sign up for. So we're going to show you how many kingdoms have signed up for which, who actually has signed up for which kingdoms, and who are some of the strongest kingdoms in this pool. That and more. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us off, because there's a lot. Thanks. Okay, so here we go. Starting with Calling of Courage has 33 kingdoms that have signed up. Winter is Upon Us has 86 kingdoms, almost 3 times the amount that have signed up for Winter is Upon Us. Now, if you want to get an idea on the kingdoms that are eligible to register for that or in that pool, you just have to click on Season of Strife, zooming out, you click on Pre-War. All the kingdoms here are all the ones that are currently in the Gen 2 pool. As we transition to the sheet, here you can see that at the moment there are 255 kingdoms. Out of those 255, 231 of them have a king or queen. Comparing that to last season's G2 pool, they had 223 kingdoms, so there's 32 more total kingdoms in the pool, and out of them 193 had a king or queen, meaning that 38 more kingdoms now have a king or queen compared to last season, which basically just means that there's more opportunity for more kingdoms to register, whether that's through new kingdoms joining, or maybe some of those kingdoms being rebuilds, maybe some people joined just through general migration, whatever it may have been, they have now been able to capture Dragon and are actually able to choose if they want to register or not, instead of just kind of being passively thrown in to a potential KvK group. Now let's look at the kingdoms themselves. So to start things off, I'll show you there's 255 kingdoms like we stated. All of the statuses were updated as of yesterday, along with migration points as of yesterday. So again, some will probably be a little different, some will be the same. And I'll do another one of these pools tomorrow on Monday during the last day. But here, you're going to be able to see the kingdom number, estimated rank based on migration points. Because the cool thing about migration points now is it is a soft indicator to kingdom strength and power, and then obviously activity. It's not the same as if we just did like a standard top 300 player pool or a top 600, but it is the next best thing beyond those two. So then we have the alliance that had the king or queen position. So just whatever alliance was holding king or queen at that time and the name of them. And then if there's a black box here, that means that they have a king or queen. Okay. So as we work our way up, now you can notice we did not calculate or input the kingdoms that are below a certain migration point minimum or maximum. And that's mainly because it just would have been a lot of work. It's a lot because you have to understand, in order to get all this information, I have to go through every single one of these kingdoms, right? So to give you an example of that, I'd have to do this character. I'd have to click on a character, confirm, wait for it to load up, let it load up, maybe have to do the bring back tutorial, the comeback tutorial or not, and then I have to rinse and repeat all over again, right? So it's a lot. It takes a lot of time. But again, I like doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it all together, right? So now we're getting close to the 155, and you'll start seeing some numbers here in a moment where they will be indicating, oh God, where was I? 160? Okay, good. So here you can see that I stopped at around 149. Now, the reason why we stopped around here, excuse me, is simply because kingdoms at, around, and below this started to show that they were around 5 billion power, right, or under. And so I just decided I was going to cut it off there, and any of the kingdoms that were around that, or again, on average below that power level, I just wouldn't continue pulling, because again, it is a lot. So from here, you'll be able to start seeing some numbers. And once we get up to the next row, you'll start to see what the tiers are for each activity status as we continue. And you can kind of see who can sign up. WIUU is Winners Upon Us, CoC, Calling of Courage. So the first one you're seeing here is that we have the first tier for status change, which is at 1,500 points. You can see 0 to 1,500 estimated, right, is normal, then going to active at 1,501 and above. Then we end up getting a little bit higher here, and you're seeing a lot of Winners Upon Us registrations, which again makes sense because they have the most amount of registrations at the moment. I'll show you what those numbers are as well, based on kingdoms that are above 1,000 migration points. So now we're going to get to almost 66. Right now we're crossing the 2,000 plus threshold here, right? A few more CoCs, but still mostly Winners Upon Us that we have at the moment. Then we getting close here to our top 20. You see now even a few more CoCs, but still, right? Still more Winners Upon Us that we have. Still some blanks too as well, right? Because again, a healthy number of kingdoms have just not registered currently. And again, we're probably, there's a few more. I think 3 more that we missed out on based on when I started recording this that had recently registered. So 3 of them could have registered. We just don't know where they might have. And there's always the chance that maybe some switched, and there's no way of knowing that usually until the end, or if we do another full go through, right, for these 150 kingdoms, 149 kingdoms, I should say, right, that we've done so far. Okay, now we're going to show you the crowded numbers, then we'll show you the top. So here you can see from 1,500 to 3,500 is active. Once you get to 3,500 and above, it's crowded, right? And again, you're seeing lots of Winners Upon Us, but you got a CoC mixed in there. So now we'll show you the top 20. For this one, we have, again, 16 crowded kingdoms, and then 4 full status kingdoms. This is still the case, even as of this morning when I checked. And you can see majority of them, all Winners Upon Us, right? You got 4 full status kingdoms. These, again, the migration point numbers are, again, some of them have changed, right? As I stated before. So not those I haven't gone through and updated, but we'll probably do that again tomorrow. So again, as I stated, these numbers are from 5.3, which is indicated as such. You can see out of the 4 full status kingdoms, RAC at the moment, again, I should say as of recording this video, if not, I should probably say slightly before recording this video, hadn't registered at the time. Along with, out of the top 20 kingdoms from crowded and full status, only GG had registered for CoC, right? The others were still unregistered. Let me show you some numbers now. So the totals, when I had pulled it, was 85 and 31. The totals now that we just showed you were 86 and 33. Out of all those kingdoms, ones that had at least 1,000 migration points or above was 68 in favor of Winners Upon Us and 14 in favor of CoC. That's about 5 times the amount that have gone to Winners Upon Us, right? Now, with CoC, you're getting 4 camps. Winners Upon Us, you're getting 6. So if GG was to swap and RAC signed up, this would basically be this could be your 6, right? And then you could get this as your next 6. I mean, that's not too bad either, right? And then this would be your next 6. I mean, that looks pretty darn good too. So again, right? But however, if it stays as it is now, a potential matchup you could see, again, depending on where everyone else signs up, would be GG, BB from 45, 314 OO, and RK, right? That could be it based on what we know at the moment. So like I said, it's up to you guys on where you want to register. My whole thing is this, that I'll say lastly, and I've been very consistent on this. I said this for the past 2 streams we did yesterday and the day before, which is simply that whichever scenario has the most amount of kingdoms in it as it nears the end, that's the one that everyone should register for. And it's not because of that one is better than the other, however you personally feel about it. To me, what it comes down to is very objective and very removed from any personal feelings. And it's simply put is that whichever scenario has the most amount of kingdoms in it, the more kingdoms in, the more balanced and more fair the matchups can be. And the reason why is because we saw this happen in Rise of the Dragon last season. That scenario had overwhelmingly the healthy majority of kingdoms that registered for that season. And what did we see come out of that? We saw some of the most balanced and fair matchups out of a single season that we might have seen ever in the history of COD. We saw the majority of those KvK groups having fair and balanced teams. The majority of those KvK groups had up to everyone, if not 5 out of 6 of the kingdoms, and a few, but the majority of the kingdoms had 6. The majority of the KvK groups had 6 kingdoms for the 6 kingdom groups that made it to the final zone. We talked about this. And it made the KvKs that much more exciting, that much more enjoyable. Why? Because when everyone feels like they have a chance to make it to the end, and everyone feels like the team they're on has just as much of a chance to win the KvK as the other team, that's how you elicit motivation. That's how you elicit positive engagement. People now are more willing to participate and contribute. It's very basic here, right? We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. This isn't rocket science. So again, I also understand, and I'll say this as well, that people can register for whatever they want to register to, right? I'm just simply stating the facts based on historical trends and what the potential, even though, yes, I know a number of people have been saying they would have loved to see Rise of the Dragon back, as they would have effortlessly signed up for that again if it was here. Sadly, that is not the case. This is what we have to choose from. And as I've stated, I don't care which one people go towards. I just want the majority to go to one, right? So if we get within 12 hours, get within 6 hours of registration ending, and it's clear that one scenario has more than the other, I hope that however many, if not up to everyone from the smaller group, will join the larger group. Just simply because even you will get a more balanced and more fair matchup. And to me, that is what the most important thing is as a king or queen, as a management team, a leadership team in a kingdom, because your responsibility and accountability is to the players in your kingdom. How can we get the most fulfilling, most balanced, most fair, most competitive season for them? So that's how I look at it. Doesn't mean everyone's going to look at it that way. That's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyone on here that registered for CoC that you're shocked on? Anyone that maybe registered for Winners Upon Us that you're shocked on? Anything on here that just caught your eye? I'd love to hear what you think. Along with, if anyone maybe feels compelled to say why they registered for Winners Upon Us versus Calling of Courage, I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you tomorrow.